guys, it's Tommy Jo at Bird Street Studios. I thought I would turn on the camera. This is a new technique for me, but I've been watching some videos the last couple weeks and they date way far back. I mean, I guess this technique is pretty old. I think somebody at one point referenced Shannon Green and then some other people. I have watched Gail Augustinelli's versions. She had an earlier version, I don't know, a year or two ago, maybe more. I didn't really pay attention, and then I think fairly recently, within the year, she had another one, and it's always kind of intrigued me because I've never done a single signature journal in this way at all. I have tried a couple single signatures and they came out very good, but this is making your own cover out of fabric paper. So anyways, I had to kind of gather everything together and try to get my thoughts together. So basically what I have here is, this is the material, and whatever material that you use is going to be the inside of the cover. And your paper will end up being the outside. So basically what we're doing is Mod Podging, sort of, napkins or tissue paper, thin layers, many layers on the back of your fabric on here to create the front of your journal, front and back, and then this will end up being the inside. So I don't have, they have an abundance of napkins and tissue paper and all this kind of stuff, and I don't have those same supplies. So the only napkin papers and that I have are kind of wild and crazy when we used to do wine bottles with napkins and that. So I'm going to start with this and then see how heavy it gets. It needs to be, you know, heavy enough so it's sort of pliable. Everyone says that when you get done that it's usually fairly stiff, but with when you use it, when you work in it, when you put your signatures in, all of that movement of the cover makes it a lot more pliable, and it ends up being more leather-like. So I was kind of intrigued, so I think we need to get started. So basically, this is matte Mod Podge, and I have this because I did a diamond glaze painting or something. But I always used to make my own, so I'm going to try it with my own. So I make my own Mod Podge out of white glue and water. But for this technique, you have to take Mod Podge and then add more water. And I think Gail said she does about half and half, and you're looking for a particular consistency that was very runny. Because I've never done this before, I don't really know what that means. So I did mix up some that was just a little bit shy, half and half. And it's pretty runny. It's pretty mixed up though. I better have my baby wipes here handy. But anyways, what she did first is she just soaked her material. Just pretty much soaked it. And she did it by sections first, and so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to just replicate what I remember her doing. I think if I do that, it should come out pretty good. We'll see. So right now I'm just soaking this material with this glue. And then when she did about a quarter of it or so, she started adding some pieces of napkin. And the underneath napkin parts, you don't really care about what the colors are because that's not what's going to be on top. So, and I'm going to try to keep it close to the edge here. If anything, go over a little bit. And what's going to happen in the end is I made the material oversized, bigger than what my journal would be. And so that way the edges I know are going to be very rough, and I guess that's fairly normal. and she like really the people that I watch do this really put a lot of glue on, and it makes me nervous, but I guess I need to just do it and hope for the best. And I will maybe move up a little bit here and soak some of this. I've got a piece of saran wrap down right here, this piece of saran wrap. And I put my silicone mat down, then a piece of saran wrap, and the materials on top of the saran wrap. Had to get a baby wipe for my fingers. And because you have to let this dry, everybody said just overnight, but after I watched them soak this so much with the glue and the Mod Podge, I would think that it would take longer than one night to dry. So you have to be able to set it somewhere flat. So the saran wrap allows you to pick this all up when you're done and then move it somewhere. Okay, let's get some more napkin on there. I don't think there's real rhyme or reason to these underlayers much. From what everybody said in their videos, it's just to get it started, and you know, it's a good way to use up your old pieces of napkins, so don't throw them away. And also, FYI, these napkins have been torn, the backing has come off. Most are 2 or 3 ply, so you have to take off 1 or 2 white pieces off the back of the napkin. So here's the napkin, and this is what comes off of the back. And I went and did that in this pile right here. I had some already done, but I did have to rip a few more. Let's see. Anyways, this is it makes me nervous to try new things, and I've never absolutely done something brand new on camera, so this is a new one for me. And because I don't do anything live, if it comes out really, really horrible for some reason, I don't have to post it. This is some old a seashell napkin. I better get some more Mod Podge over here. Yeah, I don't film live. I think in YouTube you have to have so many followers, and of course I don't have 1,000 followers yet, but I hopefully maybe by the time I ever get 1,000, I don't know how long it takes, a year or 2 or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'll have more nerve, because I can't honestly say I have a lot of nerve to do things live. I'm not a good speaker because I get very nervous, so I fumble over my words and that. But you know, when you're editing videos, you can get rid of that if you sound really bad. I don't usually do a lot of editing. Sometimes, like if I cough, I have to change the volume, or I can edit that out or something. But I think only once have I done a video where I made a mistake on something, and then so I had to re-tape it. Some of this is coming up. I'm getting a lot of Mod Podge on there, so let's move that off. there's some words. We don't want words in there. That's like the manufacturer of the napkin. So. And these will get kind of wrinkly because you're putting a lot of glue on and stuff, and I guess that's okay. We're going to find out. I kind of wasn't sure how this is going to work. If I can, I don't know. I wasn't really sure how it was going to work. I didn't really want to do 2 of them until I knew how it worked out for me. So what I was kind of thinking was, what I'll do is make this, and then I'll wait till it's dry and then show you at the end of the video. I'll just turn the camera back on once it's dry and show you how we did. Based on how many napkins I have, I might have to dig up some tissue paper or something to add to it. And in that case, from what I hear, you can let it dry and then add to it. So I should be okay there as well. I hope I'm in camera. Maybe I should stand up and see, huh? Oh yeah, I am. Okay. You don't necessarily want air in there, but wrinkles are good. Well, they're not great, but they're fine. So what I'm trying to do is use up some of these really torn pieces. Let's try to get another layer on down here. Now I'm just trying to kind of meld the edge into the bottom layer with the glue. And I can't remember, one girl didn't use very many layers at all. She had about 3 or 4 layers. But I think Gail said she uses quite a few, like 7 or 8 layers before her top layer, which is the one she's more concerned about making it look the way she wants. So I'm going to shoot for that, I think. I've had good luck anytime I've tried to replicate something that Gail Augustinelli did. So to me, she's my guru. In terms of journals, she has some really good ideas. The whole journal community is amazing. Louisa Heinzel does, she's in Austria, and she does some great, really great junk journals, and her techniques for making things really look vintage and old is really good. Barbara from 49 Dragonflies, I watch her videos as well for journaling. These are people that I like their techniques. You know, there's a million journalers out there, and I just don't have the time to watch everybody. You know, I think we've all, I mean, I watch Barb Owens. She streams on Fridays, but I normally work on Fridays. It's the only day a week that I work unless I'm filling in for somebody. So I have to catch Barb on a replay. I do watch Dee Dee Willingham stream. She does not just journals, but she does more art and creative, and she's very inspiring. Inky Well, I guess. And so I watch her every Monday and Wednesday when I can, if they don't call me into work. because I get a lot of good ideas from her. And she's experienced, so she can tell you things that work and things that don't in terms of paint or, you know, coloring or whatever. It's so you kind of just draw on everybody's experience, I think, and learn. And that's what I do. You could make some pretty crazy journal covers with napkins if you weren't concerned about what goes together. You know, if I was not so particular, you could make some pretty wild stuff. I just finished a little kind of a whimsical mermaid journal, and that YouTube I think is going to go up later today. And I'll list that on my Etsy shop. This video, you know, won't go up for a day or two depending on when all of this dries. So, not sure when that's going to be, but I am filming this on Wednesday. I don't even know what the date is. It is Wednesday the 11th. My pool keeps wafting the temperature. It's like Sunday for Mother's Day. My kids took me out Saturday for Mother's Day because, you know, when your kids get older, they have in-laws or extended family or whatever. And so they took me out to brunch on Saturday. That was the first time I've eaten since COVID started. So 2.5 years that not that I've eaten. Oh my gosh. I certainly have eaten since then. But when COVID started, I stopped going out to eat. And I haven't been out to eat since it all broke. So what is that, like 2.5 years ago, 2 years ago? So although I was a little nervous because nobody in this restaurant practiced social distancing or anything, and my daughter could see my face, I think, that I was a little nervous. I did have an absolutely fabulous time. It was my daughter and her boyfriend, my son and his wife, and my granddaughter. And we don't live that far from the ocean. Like literally, you go out of my development and you can be at the beach in, I don't know, 7-8 minutes. It's just across. We have a big river between us, the Indian and Banana rivers, between us and the ocean. So you have to go about maybe 2 miles or so out of my development, and then you cross the bridge over to the beach side. And then you're at the beach. I mean, literally, you can go straight across and there's parking right there, and you can park right at the beach. So I'm lucky that I have both the river for water near me and the ocean. And what's nice about the river is we have I call it the library park. It's actually called Pineapple Park because it's off Pineapple Ave or something. And our library is right there on the river, and there's a big dock. And oftentimes we'll go there with coffee and a biscuit or something. And I'll take the puppy down there. And we have our coffee. You can see manatees. Sometimes you get to see the dolphins. So you just sit and watch their sailboats all the time. It's just really beautiful. So I live in a really nice area. For if you want to be near water, I'm about as close as you can get without having oceanfront or riverfront property. So, anyways, so we went to a restaurant over on the beach, and it was really nice. I hadn't really, like I said, been out in public much. I have for 2 years or whatever. I ordered groceries and picked them up. I didn't even go grocery shopping. And I just maybe, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, got up enough nerve to like go to the grocery store and go inside. And even then, I'm a little nervous because I think people think with COVID that they don't have to be careful anymore. And I am, I smoked for many, many years, 40 some years. So I'm sure that my lungs are not the best. And with COVID, it is a disease that affects lungs and that. So that's why I think I'm probably more nervous than other people. I also am a little overweight, and we have heart disease in our family. So I feel like if I had contracted it, I would have been a prime candidate for not doing well. So that's why I kind of have been careful. But I won't get into all that. I just know that I need to just protect myself, you know. So I do. And but it was so nice to be out in public for a change. So anyways, how that all started, was my pool. So Sunday, I spent my pool, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so picky about the temperature. I think when I first moved back down here to Florida, I would have gone in my pool when it was in the high 70s, the temperature. Oh, no, not now. Now, I won't go in my pool unless it's about 86. And Sunday, we had some really nice weather. It was gorgeous. It was 86. Well, then we turned the pump on, it went down, but I was already in the pool. So it was beautiful Sunday, but it has since been a little cooler here, and the temperature in the pool has dropped. And I'm a fair weather swimmer. I always say that if you go in the pool and it's under 86 degrees, you're in that polar bear club where they jump in the freezing water. Because I don't do it. Okay, I'd say we have about 2.5, 3 layers on here. We need to get a few more, I think. Yeah, I don't go in the pool when it's cold. And this is so funny, when my kids were young, like really young, toddlers or whatever, and a little older than that, but you know, where I would go over to the beach with them, I would stand in the water. This is in the ocean. I would stand and face the shore, and the water couldn't go up past my knees, and my kids had to stay in front of me. So they couldn't go out any further than I was standing because I was so afraid of sharks. And people would laugh and laugh at me. And then, come to find out, we have a huge incidence of shark bites here in this area on the beaches. So my fear was not unwarranted. Okay, let's see what we got. Let's see how we're feeling. Needs to be a little heavier. I got a lot of paper. I think I might have enough tissue paper. I'm going to put a whole bunch of like these on here. I have some really odd like pieces, and I want to make sure that I have all my edges. I do see now, though, that you do have to be careful because the layers, these layers, the napkin layers, are so thin that it almost, when it absorbs the glue, it just kind of gums up and turns into, from paper, it turns into something different. So, I guess you have to be a little careful with that. I used to put that right there. this napkin we used when we used to do, we would do crackled wine bottles, and I used to do a class in it when I first moved down here, and you would crackle paint on the wine bottle and then add thin napkins over it, and oh my gosh, they came out like such good little centerpieces. You could put flowers in them and stuff because they were waterproof. But I actually have a couple of them on my dining room table. Let's see what else we got for, oh, I have a bird. Look at that bird. Put that on there, but I want it to go straight up. So let's put him maybe right here. And I have some text. Oh, and a little dragonfly on there that kind of got cut off. Now, because my material, if you remember, was purple, I am thinking that I'm going to use, oh, I don't know where I put it. I'll find it in a minute. I have some napkins that are purple based or have a purple design, and I thought my top layer would then end up being from that napkin or that set of napkins, because the inside has that purple on it. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just building up layers. This is what everybody did. They just built layers, and they almost could tell how heavy it was, and this doesn't seem very heavy, so we're going to just keep on going. And you really don't have to press hard with your brush. I think in the beginning I was pushing a little hard. You really just have to get it covered and stuck down to the layers below it. Okay, so I think I'm going to try to cover some with white to mute it down a little. It really will be good for when I go to put the next layers on. I think the purple ones we might have to take apart. So oh, that feels pretty good. It's starting to feel a little heftier, you know, a little heavier, which is what we want. Yep. Let's start this way. I think the last video that I watched that Gail did, she actually used some paper that she used sprays on, so it was some, you know, pieces of scrap paper, but she had used some water-based sprays, I think, on them. So when you mix the glue with it, her brush and everything around it was turning like the color. It was like pink. It was kind of cool, actually. And she certainly wasn't bothered by it. I think I need to dig out some tissue paper. Two of the people said they used tissue paper as well as napkins, and but my tissue paper is like with my Christmas decorations. So let me see what else I have here for white. If I have any more white pieces or lighter pieces. I have this one, which is lighter. We could put that right maybe there. Good thing I have this wet wipe here. I think I better just leave that. Okay, I think I have a couple more white pieces that I can stick on there. And then we will get the purple napkin out and see where we're at. I think we need to kind of cover this right here again, just to be sure. You know, it's funny because if you're watching this, you probably see all the areas where maybe I didn't put napkins, and I don't see them because I'm trying to do this and talk and think ahead a little bit. So I'm sure I'll find out when it dries. Okay, and let's put, I have another white piece right here, and I'm going to put that right here just to, I'll see, I think right behind me is where I have the material that I cut that piece off for the inside. Maybe I'll pull that out and then pull the two purple napkins I have, and we'll try to decide. Ooh, what do I got going on right there? Better put a piece over that. Right there. Where it was starting to come up, and I think I put something over it and made it roll. Okay, so let me find the material first. So this is the material. These are the purple napkins that I have. I kind of like this one here, because this has some gold in it. So this is the actual material. Got brown birds, purple flowers. I don't know if I can move this over a little. if you can see that. Let me see if you can see that. Okay, you can see that. Let's pull napkin out and we'll see. I'm going to have to take the backing off of it. Maybe a couple of them, but here's the napkin. This is one of them. The other one has some yellow in it, which the material doesn't have yellow, but it has gold. I'm thinking I like this one better. Neither one of them have the same color purple, but I think this has more of the shade, so I think we're going to go with that. And again, this is so funny because when I watch videos, other people, they're doing that and they're comparing. They're going, oh, I don't know which one I should use. There are so many times that I pick the one that they didn't pick. Okay, so first, let's get this out of the way so I don't get glue all over it. And let's see if we can separate this. I'm sure most of you know how to do this. I just learned how to do it. So, put a piece of Scotch tape on and number one layer will come off. And then it looks like there might be another layer, so I'm going to put the Scotch tape on again. I'm really trying to get it to stick so I can see it. There you go. This one is usually fused pretty good. Take that tape off. So this was a 3-ply. And I'm going to guess that you probably should have that done before you make your cover. Okay, so right now I'm just going to rip it into pieces because I'm probably going to have to use another napkin. Yep, so I don't necessarily want these words on it here. So we're going to cut those off. Okay, and we're going to lay that right on the edge right there. Then this is the design, who designed the napkin. I don't want that on there, so I'm going to take that off. Okay, and we will lay some of this down like this. Then lay some of this down like this. Okay, let's get some glue on these. Now you'll see that as we put the glue on, some of the other colors in that show through. And that's okay because we're going to have a couple layers on here. I wanted to do a botanical journal, but not necessarily purple, but I think that we could use this cover for a botanical journal and maybe just add some other colors to the outside of the cover. I don't know. We'll see what we got. We will see. I'm going to go around with this layer and make sure that I have one layer totally covering the top so I don't get mixed up or confused as to what I've covered already and what I haven't. And then, yeah, we're going to have to get another 1 or 2 napkins out and add those as well, because I'm going to have to overlap, you know. But I am sure loving it, that's for sure. I even kind of like the design, the border, sort of. Oh, I just dropped a napkin. Yeah, they're so thin they float. They are so thin that they float. I'm missing a whole area right there. Okay, and I think I want to break up this little border right here a little bit, so let's do this. Like I said, I'm not sure how much I'm going to cut off the edges. As much as I like the purple border, I don't want it all the way around necessarily. So okay, we need to get something up here. It looks to me like we need to get another napkin out. So oh geez, I just put glue on my shelf. Holding that paintbrush in my hand. Okay, that might give this some time to soak in a little bit. Let's try this right here. Very pretty. Okay, let's see. Maybe we need to take some elements off of this one, this other one. Let's see. Let's separate this and see what we think. One more layer, so let's see if we can get this other layer. Yeah, You know, it might be kind of nice to have the two different. I don't know. We'll see. Ooh, be kind of nice, I think. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to add this one onto the top and add just a little color into it, I think. I think I like it. Oh, how pretty. I think I like it, people. I think I like it. And what I don't want is too much of this edging here to be so perfect. So we can go this way. Then we can go maybe this way. You know, we want to go maybe this way. Maybe this way. I don't know. Right in here somewhere. We'll do this. I really do like having some of that color in there, so let's go with it. I'm going to cut a couple more pieces off here. Okay, don't do this with fingernails because I'm digging it up just as fast as I can get it down. Every time I go to lay something down, my nail gets caught in it because it's like a thick, almost like a paste now with this glue on the paper. Okay, like it so far. Oh, it feels pretty good. It's pretty substantial, yeah. Okay, let me just see if there's I thought I had some. Yep, I have some of this red and a bird left. Some of this I thought would be pretty on there mixed in with it, but I don't know. I like that, but what I don't like is this specific line right there. So let's kind of rip this off a little bit at the top, and we will maybe put this right here. I like it. And thinking that I want to put this bird on there. I just think it would be so cool. Maybe we'll put him down here. And then see about really struggling with this little piece right here. Not sure why. Okay, let's see. Probably getting my head all in there, but the folded over areas are so small, I have to get in there to see them. Okay, I'm kind of liking that, but I want to make sure that I have enough layers on there, so I'm going to well, I'm thinking I kind of like it. Now all I'm doing is going around the edges, make sure I have all the edges sealed really well. And if I see any pieces, I would rather have it soaked and take a little longer to dry and make sure that they're in good shape and that they're not going to peel up. Ooh, that feels pretty good. Well, that'll be pretty, huh? Okay, so I think that we're going to call that one a wrap, and we're going to see. I'm going to let this dry overnight and maybe longer before I do anything with this video, because I will come back when it's dry and we'll see how we did. Okay, I'm back. I guess my camera shut off and all I got was just a picture of the cover after I had peeled it off the saran wrap, and it had all the edges and stuff on it. It was an ugly, ugly looking thing. But anyways, I had to restart the video and realize that you missed all the trimming that I did on it. So I'll just show you and give you my opinion of how it turned out for our first try. I love it. I love the feel of it. I think that the process that we used, the technique, was good, and that we did well with it. The edges are all stuck. It just feels really good. So this would have to be the front, I realized, because of the way the writing is. And I ended up, when it's folded, let me show you the dimensions. It ends up being about 6 inches by hopefully about 8 3/4, yep, which is pretty much the standard size of what I do my journals. I probably will either put book corners on it or I'll round the corners for the journal. And again, I love it. I think we did well. The only thing that I was disappointed in was the color. I think it's too dark. I'm not sure how I would change that, because it didn't look quite that dark when we were doing it, even though it seemed pretty busy. But it dried dark. All the greens and the purples are very dark. And so what I'm thinking is, the next time I do it, I like the lighter colors showing through here. Even on the back, the butterfly is very prominent. You can see some of these flowers a little better. So I think next time when I do it, maybe what I would do is maybe make the underlayers colored tissue paper or white tissue paper, or just the napkins, the backing of the napkins, until I bring color into it, and maybe be a little more sparse with my color, because at that point I was still trying to fill in the layer, and I think that if I did all my layers nice and full and the cover was covered, then I could just kind of piecemeal color on there, and I would probably like it more. Some people would love this, don't get me wrong, and other napkins would make it look very different if they were lighter maybe. But again, definitely I'm going to try it again. I may even try one later this afternoon, I'm not sure. But I think all in all, our first try really turned out well, don't you think? Hi, it's Tommy Jo at Bird Street Studios, here with an update. So this cover, as you remember before, I really disliked it. It is the one that was very dark in the front, and it had this fabric on the inside. And the more I looked at it, the more unhappy I was with it, and I thought I won't use it. If I don't like it, I won't use it. So I decided I was going to try to change it and make it into something that I really did like, and I have. So I thought I would just show you what I did, or explain to you what I did and show you the result. But basically I took the cover that we had, the dark one, and I took white acrylic paint and just watered it down and painted it all over the top of the cover. It didn't totally cover it white, but it really muted down that darkness. And then I had these napkins right here. And so I peeled off the backing, and there's 2 plies on this. So I used both plies to make layers on top of the white paint. So it was really 2 layers of white napkin, which really lightened it up. And then I just used the reds and that from the napkin. I tried to stay away from the birds because they created some darkness. I think I do have some of the nest on here. If you see how dark this is, not crazy over it, but it's a back, so I'm good. But I wanted to keep it mostly colored in the light greens, which I think we've captured. So again, it was 1 layer of watered down white acrylic paint, and then I Mod Podged on 2 layers of the white napkin backing, and then just 1 layer pieces of the colored napkin. When I got all done, I let it dry overnight, about 24 hours. I trimmed it because, you know, I had things stuck out. I trimmed it out, and then I ran a zigzag stitch all the way around, if you can see this, around the edge. And now, though it is a lot heavier than it was before, it's still very pliable, and I think it's going to get even more pliable. So now I've turned something that I really didn't like and probably would not have used into something that I absolutely love. And I wanted to real quick show you, this is going to end up being a botanical journal with one signature, but it should be a full signature. So I'm working on another botanical journal, but it's going to be a hardcover. But I thought I would take one of the signatures that I have here and show you how that will fit right in there. So, excuse me, so when I make, let's take two so I can show you. So when I make the signature for that, it'll be almost like this thick. It'll be like double. And look at that. Once it's embellished in that, it fits perfect. And I love it. And it's very pliable, very sturdy. And that's why I sewed it, to make sure that nothing came apart. And I really do like the zigzag edge. So anyways, I just wanted to come back on and show you the update from ew to wonderful. So anyways, I hope you guys try this making fabric paper. It really was easy. You know, I thought we did a good job for our first try, and look at it now. It's just gorgeous. Anyways, I'm going to get this video uploaded. Have a great day. Thank you for subscribing. Like the video if you could. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll see you next video. Bye.